Hi everybody, hope you're well. Today I will read from a book titled Architecture and Welfare, Scandinavian Perspectives, published by Birkhäuser. Helena Mattsson and Dean Simpson wrote, "A number of publications have in recent years reflected on architecture and welfare. Many of these have focused on the Nordic region. This is not surprising, given rapid changes seen in the contemporary political landscape. Not only is the relationship between the built environment, the state, and the citizen being rearticulated, but the conditions under which the built environment is constructed have shifted. The discourse on architecture thus confronts the question: what is architecture and its role? While the Nordic countries have been and continue to be considered welfare states, many welfare institutions have been dismantled or reconstructed. Housing policies have been increasingly challenged by global capital. Housing assets, housing companies, and public or common infrastructures have been sold, and housing affordability has been reduced. Many of these challenges are closely linked to neoliberalization processes, which have been observable in various forms across the Nordic countries over the past 40 years. Some are also the result of cultural shifts in how we understand the welfare paradigm and the welfare subject through, for example, the emergence of terminologies such as livability and the livable city. Recent research has addressed how we should understand architecture in relation to these processes and how we should manage the built heritage of a very different era, when architecture had a different role in the construction of society. We accepted the task of reflecting on the content of this publication out of a desire to say something about where we stand today and how we might think about the future when it comes to research on architecture, built environment, and welfare. If we compare the present with the time around 2013, when the Scandinavian Research Network on Architecture and Welfare, which forms the academic background of this book, was established, things looked very different. Today, the democratic welfare state itself is under threat. Ideas about a bygone welfare state, together with nationalism, protectionism, and xenophobia, have created fertile ground for a growing right-wing populism with undemocratic undertones. Questions and developments like these set the scene for our conversation, suggesting the necessity to revise perspectives regarding the identification, problematization, and interpretation of architecture and the built environment's relation to welfare and the welfare state. As the editors state in the introduction, this book goes beyond the concepts of the social democratic regime and the Nordic model as they are understood from the outside. Instead, this volume examines the welfare state information through multiple perspectives from within the broad geography of Scandinavia. We take this critical position as a starting point for our conversation, which circulates around a series of themes that we understand as essential to future research on the developing specialities of the welfare state, namely geographical exceptionalism, the universal welfare subject, and, maybe most important, a planetary perspective. Ask for the book at your local bookstore. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.